am the king!
What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back. Saturday, Star Wars Celebration Day 2. So not a whole lot of news has dropped today. A lot of the bangers were yesterday, that's for sure. But we're going to break all the stuff down. Got a little more information about the Ahsoka series. I'm going to have a couple guests on today. So yeah, we're going to just kind of break this thing all down. What's up, Anthony Blaze in the house? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so first off, you've had about a 24 hours here to digest the Ahsoka trailer, which was probably the biggest, drop of the day yesterday. So chat, let me know what you guys thought or think of that. I probably watched this thing like 30 times. I mean, it's so good. And I'm going to play it again here on the stream because I do want to kind of break down a couple other things here that I was kind of doing a little research on. Unfortunately, this is what Mando should be right now, right? This is what the season 3 should be about. Like moving toward this Filoni-verse. I don't understand like why they're doing this with Mando. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau actually were on the celebration stage earlier this morning, and they were talking about this. And I give credit to like the moderator because he actually was asking a couple tough questions to them. Because I think they know. I think he knows that the fans are kind of split on the season. At least I think they are. And basically how they answer the questions, they're basically saying that they wanted to steer away from it being so one person, like Mando, right? Mando and Grogu, and they wanted to start making the universe seem bigger. And this is why Mando is almost kind of taking a back seat in his own show. Now, does that have to do with all of these Pedro Pascal rumors, with him not being happy, with the whole mask thing still, and, not being there while filming was going on? Because again, apparently he doesn't even walk around as Mando. It's not really even Pedro. The only time it's him is when he actually does take the mask off. So I found that pretty interesting. So I don't know. Will we ever know the truth? Probably not. But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Their conversation. Then they had a Rosario Dawson come up there with I'm forgetting the actress's name right now, but the actresses who are playing Sabine Wren, and I think it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I believe that's who's playing Hera. So that was a good conversation. They obviously can't say much at all. But yeah, anyways. So what we're going to do is, hey, Baby Ice, how you doing? What we're going to do is I'm going to bring out my first guest. He lives in Tennessee, so it's 9 a.m. He's up bright and early here on Saturday. He was in the chat yesterday, very knowledgeable on Star Wars. I actually met him about a year ago down at ICCCCon in Nashville, and we've kind of been talking, and I went down and saw him back in the summer when I was going to San Diego Comic-Con. So he wanted to kind of come on and we'll talk some Rebels and some Ahsoka, and I'm sure we'll go through each of the announcements. So, and then I believe Ryan Milky would be joining me on in about 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to bring on Josh here. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. So I know you're a huge Ahsoka fan. I don't want to say big; it's huge.
That's true. That's true.
And so, what was your first impression the first time you saw the Ahsoka trailers? I know I messaged you yesterday, and you hadn't even seen it yet, and then you watched it, and yeah. So, what'd you think,
dude? I mean, this looks like it's going to be the best content we've gotten in years. I mean, I've loved Mandalorian up to date, but as you said. It just, I mean, looking at the trailer, it definitely looks like Filoni has put more of the love and care of the lore in Ahsoka than he has in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, and that's the thing we have to remember is that this is Filoni's baby, right? This is the character he created. With obviously the guidance of George Lucas. And, although, Mandalorian is like you said, it is a great show. Like I said, season 3, I don't know how you're feeling about it. I'm a little up and down on it. You know, I felt like episode 5 was so good, and it was like one of the better episodes we've seen. And then last week, I was super disappointed. But yeah, I mean, so you know that Ahsoka series is gonna be good. How did you feel about Kenobi? I'm curious. I don't really haven't talked to you about that because that was like a year ago. Kenobi came out.
I loved Kenobi for the pure fact that we got to see more. But outside of that, like kind of mini epic battle where he's throwing all the rocks at Vader and they have that like intimate scene, it was okay.
Yeah. Nothing to like write home about, right? I mean, it was awesome to see Ewan, but I don't know. I mean, we kind of went into that knowing that it was going to be kind of like a depressed, Obi-Wan almost, or a war-struck in Obi-Wan. But I don't know. The whole Leia thing was cool, but I don't know. I don't know if it breaks canon or what, but it was really strange for me. But I thought she did a good job as the young Leia. But
she was an excellent young Leia. They really teetered the line on if it's canon or not.
Yeah. And that's always the hard thing. Like, you want to do something because, I mean, really, what were they going to do? Like, I'm trying to think, what else could they have done? Like, I wish the Grand Inquisitor had more screen time. I wish the Fifth Brother had more screen time. And, they could have had the other Inquisitors because at this part in the timeline, they're still alive. Like, we lose a couple in Rebels and that kind of stuff. But, like, there's no reason why I don't know why they had to create Reva. I did not like her character. I thought it was unnecessary, but I don't know. Anyways, I mean, maybe they would have had her. I don't know. I mean, the flip was fine, but then she almost like flips back. I don't know. It was strange. I mean, what did you think about Reva?
No offense to the actress or the character, I think it was poorly written. Mm-hmm. I think, as you said, they should have focused more on the Grand Inquisitor and really what the Inquisitors were about instead of it was some weird redemption story, and it made it more about Reva than Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it just felt off to me. I don't know.
It felt forced, I guess.
Yeah, this is true. All right, so no more Kenobi because that's over and done with. We'll see if we get another season of that or not. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Twitter and just kind of see if there's any breaking news or anything. I've been kind of watching it all morning. I know, so let's go through some of the things that were announced today. So we did have, they did officially announce that Lars Mikkelsen is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He came out on the Ahsoka panel today. So, I mean, we obviously all kind of already knew this. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. And what did you think about that?
Super happy that they finally confirmed Lars is that, because I know, 6 months to a year ago when they started kind of releasing tidbits and they had the little teaser trailer last year, even when Ahsoka was in that episode of The Mandalorian, we knew Thrawn was coming in, but it's almost like they tried to throw everybody a curveball by saying it wasn't going to be him. And they alluded that the gentleman playing Admiral Balon was going to be Thrawn, is what they alluded to.
Yeah, they try to throw you for a curve, that's for sure. But I'm pumped about it. I feel bad for like Vanessa Marshall, and I mean I know she's older at this point, but I feel bad for her, and I feel even going back to Ashley Eckstein. I think Rosario Dawson is a fantastic, Ahsoka. I feel bad for these voice actors, but like some are getting the jobs and some aren't. I don't know. I feel bad for them, and the actress who plays Sabine. Like I know she wanted the role, and this, I don't know, just didn't get it. But on the screen right now, I don't know if this is actually legit. I mean, I can click it, but I don't know if this is. Star Wars did not confirm any of this. This is just on Twitter. They're saying Rian Johnson is going to reimagine George Lucas's episodes 6, 7, and 8, or 4, 5, and 6. I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6.
I just cannot imagine they would retouch the original trilogy.
Like there's there's no way that's legit. That's the one thing with the Twitter, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't
think they would be under fire if they did that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I don't really see anything breaking. Like if you go to Star Wars Celebrations actual Twitter page, there's definitely nothing there. I guess what's his name? The dude who plays Cal Kestis in Jedi Fallen Order. I guess
Cameron Montague.
Yeah, I guess he showed up. So that would have been pretty cool. I'm surprised that dude doesn't do more signings, because I know you're into signings as well. All right, yeah, there's not much more there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll pull up the trailer. We can kind of break this down a little bit. Let me find that trailer really quick. Yeah, chat. Let us know. What are you most excited for? Are you excited for the Ahsoka? I mean, I think that's the big one probably. Are you excited for Acolyte? Now I know there was some footage that was released online that was not through Star Wars for the Skeleton Crew. So how do you feel about that, Josh? Like, have you seen anything about this?
Man, I have not seen hardly any information. I'm surprised we didn't get at least like the teaser trailer yet. Because that's supposed to be dropping this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be late, because Ahsoka is August, and I believe that they said that was going to be late after in the fall, probably November. I would assume November.
So
December.
The fact that we haven't even seen a teaser trailer, the only thing I've really heard is that Filoni's movie is supposed to be the culmination of all three shows.
Yeah, it's supposed to, yeah, exactly.
But and then, we have no idea what Skeleton Crew is even about.
So Skeleton Crew. So what the leaks I saw basically. So Jude Law's in it, right? And
right.
He's supposed to be playing a character. I think he's called the Father. Was that what the Father? Something like that. And he is he's an older Jedi. And again, I mentioned this yesterday on the stream. Like, he just need to be careful, man. Like, all of a sudden, all these Jedi are just floating around. All of a sudden, I mean, there's a lot now, and it's cool, but like, it was never explained like that, in the OG.
Not to go off track here, but that's interesting. If he's called the Father and was a Jedi, or if they're alluding to that, is that not the name of the character with the two children, one of the light side, one of the dark side?
Oh, the Father, yeah, you're right.
And I mean, we're kind of going the Rebels route here with Ahsoka, so that's kind of interesting if that's what he would go by with that name. Not saying they're linked, obviously, but just a interesting Easter egg, I guess.
I'm trying to see if I could find the name. I want to say it was the Father. So there was a video, so it looks like the video was already deleted.
I'll definitely have to do some more research on the Skeleton Crew. I've been definitely following a lot more of the Ahsoka show.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely deleted, because I was going to try to show it. Jude Law. Let me look at Jude Law, Star Wars character. I want to say that's what they said yesterday was the Father. Star Wars, Jude Law. I'm surprised I can't just find it. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm wrong. I got it. He's not the Father. He's the teacher. His character's name will be the Teacher.
Oh, okay.
So it says here, Skeleton Crew is one of the many Star Wars projects on the horizon. Here, I can share this tab really quick. Fans were treated to our first look at the show's production back in September, and rumors about the potential plot have already been circulating the internet, but beyond a still photo and online speculation, any information and John Watts' skeleton crew has been sparse. It's a coming of age classic, kind of like the Goonies or Stand By Me. That's kind of what their inspiration is. And then you can kind of see this is probably, I don't know if this is an actual official photo of him or not, but Making Star Wars reported that Jude Law's character in Skeleton Crew will be part teacher and part Bran from the Goonies. So Bran was the brother, right? The older brother.
Right.
Was, what's his face? Thanos.
Josh Brolin.
Brolin, right. All right. Well, I don't know. So we got a little information. This is an older article too now. I'm like, well.
I mean, the only part I'm starting to get concerned, as you just mentioned with all this, is like, and I get 30 years ago, nobody would have thought Star Wars would be as big as it is right now.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it was Luke and Leia are the only Jedi left, and now they're just popping up left and right.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I always thought, like, in Rebels, like, when we saw Ahsoka, like, leave. Okay, so the question is where was Ahsoka during the OG trilogy? That's what I've always wanted to know. And I don't know if we're going to get flashbacks of that or not. But I would love to know, like, where was she at for those, what is it, like 10 years or something? That I guess that kind of spans. It's
right. Because if you read the Ahsoka novel, they basically tell you, like, she helped build the rebellion with Senator Organa. He's the one that, like, really recruited her, and that's all canon.
Yeah.
So she's there for the whole rebellion, the Death Star blowing up, but we know nothing about it.
But we know nothing about it, exactly. And what's going to happen with Cal Kestis too? That's what I'm really curious to see. Like, I wonder if they'll ever bring him into live action or not. I would love to see it, but all right, let's. I know Ryan is backstage. His camera's off, so I'll wait for him to come back before I bring him on. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video and try not to get copyrighted, and we'll kind of skip through it a little bit. Really quick, let me say hey to a couple people in the chat. Christina, Chris, how you guys doing? What's up, quick? Poppin' Missouri's in the house. Hello there. Are they looking for the one-eyed Hondo space treasure? Yes, that's true. Quick is a big fan of Star Wars as well. I'm going to bring on Ryan now. What's up, good sir?
What's up, people?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I literally just got through the door. It's absolutely belting down with sun out here. Like, I don't know. It's a strange hot thing in the sky. I'm not used to it.
A strange what? Hot thing in the sky?
It's a strange hot thing in the sky, and I'm not used to it.
Well, as long as there's no laser coming from it, you'll be all right.
Yeah, no, I don't think there is. And it's not Drogon yet. I don't think it's Drogon either.
Yeah. So did you watch the Ahsoka trailer?
No, I haven't watched anything. I've literally just got through the door.
All right, so we're going to play it now.
Awesome. Hey, chat, how you doing? Hey, everybody on panel. Giorgio?
Yeah. It's Josh and Josh Ryan. You guys,
cool.
I mean, we've seen him in the chat before, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
now, I was on your trivia game 2 weeks ago though.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars Brainiac, yeah.
All right. If for some reason if I get booted, I'll be back. Hopefully not. It worked yesterday. We'll see what happens. Let's go. Let me shrink it. Doesn't want to work. Just refresh it. All right, well, this one's working. We'll just do this one.
Something's coming. Something dark.
All right, so I missed it. So this right here, yesterday we were talking about how this was kind of the background So I did the research on this. Apparently, this is kind of like a map of like what the world between worlds is like.
Okay.
So this is shown kind of in Rebels as well. This same kind of pattern. So Ryan, I know we haven't watched Rebels yet, so you're probably gonna get a few spoilers in here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but I so that's what I think this is. So if we slide this back a little bit, what I'm thinking is that, and I did say yesterday, I thought maybe this might be in the fall, but it's definitely, to me, it's definitely light side vibes. This isn't like I don't think this is like a dark side temple or anything like that. I think this is definitely light side, and chances are, what I'm thinking this is that she's dropping down, and this is going to lead to the world between worlds. Because I think the rumor is that she is supposed to actually go into it.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of what we're seeing here on the as far as these lines and graphics on the wall behind her.
I sense it.
And it's funny. I was watching Star Wars Theory, and he was mentioning this yesterday. The picture with all the flame. It seems like he was saying that he thinks that this is an actual scene from the film or from the TV show. He said he probably thinks it's somewhere in the world between worlds, and that's why it's not just a solid color. So I thought that was interesting. I would have to go back and watch all the other versions of this, from all the other movies and stuff, and see if that's actually true. Because he said that he thinks they do that often. So I don't know. I mean,
they like to play around with the intros. They've been changing the helmets.
Yeah, I
the
like
Mandalorian episodes and things like that. So
yeah, I like when they do all that stuff. What's up, Vibin? What's going on? Andrew, how you guys doing, man? Yeah, we hope you have a good Easter, dude, for sure.
Yeah, happy Easter, everyone.
This is a new beginning.
So we were talking yesterday, Ryan. This dude right here, he's gonna be selling some toys. You think?
Yeah.
The loaf cat.
A lot of people thought that this was called Balin, though, right? And that's actually the guy speaking, isn't it?
So yeah, so we'll get to Balin.
Okay.
Balin is the older. He's actually played by oh my gosh, Josh, help me out. Stevenson.
Oh god.
Ray Stevenson, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Ray Stevenson.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of things on the internet. Like yesterday, I'm usually out of the world of YouTube on Fridays, but I seen that this photograph was flying around, and a lot of people were calling it Balin, and I was like, I don't know, because I just heard the guy speaking, and I think it's more his narration.
No.
Yeah.
No. So this is our first look at Sabine. Balin is going to be the older. We're not sure if he's
Grogu.
Jedi or that's what the Wolf Cat is. So the other thing that I think later in the scene or later in the trailer, we do see a little image, and I didn't catch it yesterday, but that's actually that's Ezra Bridger.
Okay.
So kind of trying to communicate. So we'll see that later on. So it's kind of similar. So she's probably either age has got done watching this, and now she's like about ready to put her helmet on and get to business, But
yep.
I love the look.
This is a new beginning. For some.
So I know again here, I was kind of trying to deep dive into these little symbols and stuff all over these guys. I couldn't quite make out exactly what we were looking at up here on his helmet. I don't know, Josh. I don't know if you deep dived into this or not, but I didn't know maybe if you knew something with this symbol. I feel like there's something here.
Not into that part. I dived a lot deeper into Balon and his apprentice.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get there then. Yeah, I feel like there's something here. I don't know. Like I said, I mentioned yesterday, if you see this view right here, to me, this is so reminiscent of like Vader's helmet. It's just a little different. It's just not, like pointed or rounded at the top. It doesn't, to me, that's what that reminds me of.
War.
Yeah, let's fix what we said yesterday, or like what I said yesterday. So this is Phantom 2. So what happened was in Rebels, Ghost has another like spacecraft that it's attached to it. And in the cartoon, they lose what's called the Phantom, which is basically a version of this. This is the new one that they picked up. So this is part of Ghost. So Ghost might still be in this. I'm thinking, because I was under like I misheard what Josh was saying because I thought Ghost got lost, and I'm trying to think. I'm rattling my brain yesterday. I'm like when did this happen? I don't remember. I would think I would remember that. But yeah, so this is called the Phantom 2 because the original craft that was part of Ghost, I guess you could say, was lost, and then this is the one they found. Because this still attaches to Ghost, Josh, correct?
Correct. Yeah, so it's a starfighter that docks with the Ghost. So once it docks with the Ghost, it has a hatch which opens up and leads down to the ladder that goes down into Ghost.
So think almost like a drivable escape pod.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like that.
Cool.
So I'm excited for this. I love it. And then here we get Hera. And the actress came on stage today. So I saw some negativity online about this. Like I don't know how you can be negative at all about this trailer. There's nothing to be negative about, right? But they're saying that she looks a little young. But like I look at the actress, Mary Elizabeth Winstead she's not like in her 20s, right? So I don't know. It might just be the shot. It could just be the side view, you know. But she does not look. I don't think she looks that young. In this, I think it's age appropriate for where she would be. You know, she's probably at this point. I mean, how old do you think Hera was in the cartoon? I mean, in her 20s. So this is like 20 years later, basically. So 40s. I think it looks fine.
For others.
First we get Chopper, and then here's Balin. So here's our first look at Balin. So Ryan, I know yesterday I had mentioned to me, it reminds me of, and it's funny I said this because he actually confirmed it today for me. I said he kind of looks like, he reminds me of like Sir Barristan from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that type of knight, like older, wiser, you know, fighter. And it's funny when he came out on the stage today with Lars Mikkelsen, who's going to be playing Thrawn. He completely confirmed it because the question what he was asked was, "Give us a couple details about your character, you know, that you're allowed to." Because you know these guys are so hush hush about everything, and he literally brought up the word knight. It was hilarious. I'm like, yes, I nailed it.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. As soon as I seen that first picture, then I was like, yeah, very Sebastian-esque.
Yeah. And then the next photo is his apprentice. So like right there. Again, I think
Are they Sith?
so that's the thing. That's what we don't know for sure because we were talking about this yesterday a lot. Like I still believe this is orange. Like I don't think it's meant to like. I mean, granted, in post-production, they could probably fix the light. They'll probably fix this, right?
Because I saw a tweet, from Star Wars Theory. He was talking how it was like a mix of different colors or something.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really say anything about the color as being orange or not. But I did see on Twitter yesterday from a different content creators saying that it's just not. It hasn't gone through post-production. Like Theory kept saying, it looks more like it looks like a saber that me or you would have, right? It's just glowing. And but again, if you think back to like Kylo Ren's saber, like I remember seeing the very first trailer, it didn't look like it did in post production. So they're gonna they'll spice this up a little bit. Will it become more red? I don't know. I'd be shocked because like why would you show it? Because this is clearly orange, right? Like for me, it's definitely orange in color, and that's why we're not sure like if they are actually Sith or not, or because I think
it's a good way to do it, isn't it? In a trailer, it gets people talking about the show for the next couple of months. Or the the Jedi, are they Sith?
Yeah, it does. And you know, I see you know, in the chat, you know, Chris says it's definitely
an orange saber.
It's definitely an orange saber, right? I mean, Josh, what do you think it's orange?
I'm going to go with I'm pretty sure it's orange because I don't think that they're Sith at all. Doing a little bit of research into it of what I can find. So we know Admiral Balon is more than likely in charge of Thrawn's forces and reports directly to Thrawn.
Okay.
And that is his apprentice, whose name is Shin. So I believe they're Dark Jedi. Because if we go back to...
Did you say Shiv? S-H-I-V?
Shin. S-H-I-N.
Shin. Okay.
So her name is Shin, and she is Balon's apprentice from everything I can find, and from all the rumors and mentions over the last few months. And what it appears is that they're basically in charge of Thrawn's forces, as the rumor of what I'm looking into is that Thrawn has, in the years that he's been missing, has made many acquaintances. They're alluding that she is a prior Night Sister, and that Thrawn used dark magic to bring back many of the old Empire's troops.
Oh, okay.
So they're really going like heir to the Empire here, which Ahsoka leads to in this trailer.
Correct. So
that's the theory, ongoing theory right now.
Okay. So for those in the chat who don't know, so in Star Wars, there's the Force, right? It's the Force is kind of its own little entity, right? There's also magic, it's not like Harry Potter magic, but there is other magic in Star Wars, and I think that's, like Josh just said, that's what they're going to be exploring in this. Again, kind of like Dave Filoni said today on stage, they want to open this up to make it not about just one person, and that from that comment alone, I understand now what they're doing with Mandalorian. They're opening it up to all those other characters and almost having Mando and Grogu kind of take a back seat in their own show just to open up the world. So, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense after he said that, what they're doing with Mando Season 3. Doesn't mean I love what they're doing with Mando Season 3, but it makes sense, I guess. All right, let's keep going here. And then, obviously, yesterday we talked about this character here. We're not sure who she is. I don't know if this is going to be a popular one or not, or if she's just going to die right now, in the trailer here. But you can tell, look at the window. This is definitely like the same type of ship or something that Admiral Akbar was in Return of the Jedi. Like the bigger, I don't know what would you call it? The bigger starship, I guess. I don't know. The shuttle, I guess. But
command post.
Command post, right? You can tell by the chair and everything else. Why is she shooting, and why is this dude on the bottom right he's still driving the thing? I guess I don't know. He doesn't care about the lightsaber. I guess he's just staring. I want to see if he turns. I don't think if he turns his head. But yeah, I like the look of her. I like it. I like it. Something different we haven't seen.
Yeah, no, I'm really super hyped from what I've seen. 30 seconds of a trailer, and we're talking about it. I'm hyped. And this summer as well. That's awesome.
It's been a while.
So I was trying to figure out where this was. I still don't know. It's interesting. It's all white. I can't tell, in the background, are we on another desert planet or something? It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I instantly thought it might have been Cloud City.
There we go.
But you can tell that, there's actually ground, so it can't be Cloud City. But
yeah, it's hard to really see. I don't remember anything in Star Wars having all white like this. Again, it could just be a small post or something. Because I don't know where Sabine had gone. It's interesting, this conversation they're about to have too, because I always thought that. Well, actually, Josh, you probably remember at the end of Rebels, is it Hera and Ahsoka who go off, and Sabine doesn't go with them?
No, it's Sabine and Ahsoka that take off to look for Ezra, because Hera stays behind and helps the rebels. Because remember,
there you go.
Shortly after those events, she gave birth to hers and Kanan's child.
Okay, so Dan in the chat is saying that he thinks this is Lothal, and it could be. I mean, maybe, and I still think that's where. I think maybe this is Lothal as well, at one of the old Jedi temples. I don't know. It obviously, there's no way to really know right now. But that's a good point. This could definitely be Lothal. See, it's interesting because again, this conversation they're about to have, it seems like they've been apart for a while. So I wonder if we're gonna get that. So
I must say it looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And yesterday I had mentioned that I thought that this looked very, very similar to Tower, to where Kanan Jarrus fights the Grand Inquisitor in season 1. And was that on Lothal? Do you know, Josh, where they fought? Do you remember? It's a long time ago.
Josh left. He must have jumped out.
Oh, he jumped out again. Okay. Yeah, I know he's driving, so I know he's having a hard time with it. So he's back now.
He's back.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, I agree. That's yeah. And that's why I'm trying to figure out like where was it? Was it on Lothal or not? Again, this is why we're going to be recapping Clone Wars and Rebels, because
I can't wait to get to Rebels now.
I know, dude. I know. And yeah, but it's going to be all, fast forward at this point to try to get through all this content. Because now, originally we thought we had until like November. Now it's August, dude. Like we're only 4 months away, from Ahsoka. It's kind of crazy.
There's Josh back.
You back, bro?
All right, I'm back now.
All right. So we were just saying, do you remember, is this Lothal where Kanan and Grand Inquisitor fought in season 1? Because this was reminding me of the tower they were kind of up on. But now Sabine is here.
I think we talked about that yesterday. Wasn't that on in Hammertown City on Takobo, I think it's called?
Oh, okay. So that was different. Okay. That's right. You did say Hammertown. You're right.
But I definitely think before I got kicked out there, that opening scene with Ahsoka, I definitely think that is Lothal, or they definitely allude to it. Yeah, when you were talking about the world between worlds.
Yeah, because is that where it was located, or one of the entrance points?
That was one of the entrance points. Yes.
Okay, so chances are this is Lothal. I would think that this probably is as well.
Because one of the big scenes they've alluded to is, Hayden Christensen is going to be in the series. Right. And so the popular rumor is that we're going to get to see the live action battle between Ahsoka and Vader. That was in Rebels.
Oh, you think they're going to redo
wow.
that? That's going to be cool.
So that's been a popular rumor because there's been no other information on Hayden. And with where they're going with this, there's not really much of a need for Vader other than an epic scene like that.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're going to bring back a few, scenes from Clone Wars, but I mean, the problem with that is that it would be awesome to see actually in a flashback like that, but I don't think they'll do it, but it would be pretty cool because I mean she Ahsoka in the TV series looks a lot younger than what they're portraying on screen right here. So, but all right, we'll play a little bit more here. So I don't know. It seems like she probably goes to the world between worlds, maybe finds it, and now she's going to get Sabine. But it's just interesting. It seems like they haven't been together for a while.
It's been a while. Things have changed.
Yeah, there is the ships I was talking about earlier. I think the where the Shin was in.
Okay. I started hearing whispers.
So we get Mon Mothra that she was in Andor as well. So she's definitely making an appearance. And they're probably talking about they could be talking about Thrawn making a return or something like that. They got kind of the whole council. I don't know who these other characters are here except for her. But they're probably just different rebel leaders.
Yeah.
Hearing whispers.
And then there's your money shot, right? There's your Thrawn, the back of him. And I saw somebody on Instagram posted a picture of Lars Mikkelsen before he was confirmed. And dude, this is funny. The ears look exactly the same when you see the pictures. So It was kind of confirmed yesterday in a way, but today they officially announced it, which is awesome. Can't wait to see this dude. And I did hear though at the panel today that they did show a frontal face like image of him. So you know, in the trailer we get this, but I heard at Celebration they actually showed that. So Quick is saying, how long has it been from the last scene in Rebels? So that happened. Was it 5 years before like Rogue One? It's pretty darn close to A New Hope. Let's do a timeline of Rebels. So, okay. Rebels approximately happened 14 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. So how many years? Yeah, so it's about 5 years before the events of A New Hope. So it's about 5 years.
Oh. I think Headless might have clicked a button wrong or something. We've lost him, so yeah, he's back. There we go. He's back.
I don't know why my microphone.
We can still hear you, dude.
Okay, because this mic's not working.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I don't know why. I gotta fix this stuff. This is like the second time this happened now. Everything just went off. The camera, the keyboard, everything. Like
you there?
So weird that I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know.
So Terry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the very first episode of Rebels happens 5 years before New Hope. So the end of Rebels is like leading right into Rogue One.
Okay.
On the last episode of Rebels.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so Quick basically kind of leads right into it. I mean, it's because Rebels is definitely a few years because Ezra grows and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're right. What's up, Carmob? How you doing, buddy?
I think each season of Rebels is almost like a year in the timeline.
Right. So you're right. It leads right up. What's up, Kenneth?
Hey, Kenneth. Carmob.
I'm going to see if I can reset this while we're doing this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play a little more of the trailer.
About Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
You know, and right there, and what I did see online today was they are saying that Timothy Zahn is on set and he has some say in what's happening with Thrawn, which is really, really awesome to hear. Because I remember I talked to him, actually, Josh, I talked to him back at ICC last year, and I had mentioned that to him. I said, are they bringing you on board at all? You know, this is when we already knew that Ahsoka was happening. And he had said that he literally did not get a phone call or anything about it. So I'm glad that I hope the rumor is correct because the dude is the one who created him, really, you know.
Yeah. That's good that they're still having him.
I'm still not convinced that Admiral Baylan is not another version of I'm gonna trash this name, Joris Seabath.
So tell the chat who Joris is, because I guarantee no one knows.
So yeah, I'm big into novels as well. So the old Star Wars lore. Heir to the Empire is one of the first books written right after the events of Return of the Jedi, where Thrawn is introduced. Joris Seabath was a Jedi Master who basically survived, was a teacher, among many other things. Palpatine cloned him and made basically an evil version, which was a Dark Jedi, which is a lot of what they're alluding to in this trailer. And with her saying the words, that's what makes me think Baylan could be a code name, or this just could be kind of a new reiteration of the character. Somebody that survived Order 66 and got kind of corrupted along the way. But with where we are in those scenes of The Mandalorian, where they're stealing the cloning technology, it just kind of leads me to believe that maybe this is something they had been working on leading up to this.
So you just don't think that he's part of it? Timothy Zahn?
What do you mean?
Like you don't think?
Zahn? No, I think Zahn is part of it.
Oh, okay.
Zahn said they were asking his opinion on stuff, but that doesn't mean they were going to listen to him.
Correct. Right. But I do like that I like that they said that he is on set at least. You know, I mean, how can you not bring him on? You know, he knows he's made, you know, basically 6 books on this.
Right.
And then we get her back. And she was on stage today, and Rosario was saying that the little battle scene between her and Ahsoka, that was 17 hours to film that, they said, for Mando season 2. Is that crazy? It's not even that long. It's not even that long of a battle. It's very interesting. I'm just interested to see how she's actually came back to life, or did she just never die to begin with? I'm not sure what you guys think about that, but
I don't actually remember her face.
Perry, I'll just throw this in. For those that don't know how important this character is, this character's name is Morgan Elsbeth, and she was part of Palpatine's inner circle, was vital in building the Empire's fleet.
So is this with Palpatine?
So she was around in the beginning of the Empire days. She was a big character that helped build the Empire's fleet of Star Destroyers and everything else. She was in charge of a lot of that. So she obviously survived the falling of the Empire.
Right. Now, she was never in Clone Wars or Rebels or anything, right?
No, but, you know, she's mentioned in various books and comics.
Yeah.
And again, for those that don't know and only watch the shows, which is totally okay, there's roughly 260 books of Star Wars lore. I've read every single one at least twice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's big on Josh is definitely big on the.
Yeah, no, I'm loving it. I feel like I'm learning every time the guy speaks. So it's great. It's really good.
That's what I'm saying. Like you've read all the Game of Thrones stuff, so it's just more information you can gather. You know, it makes it really fun.
Yeah, I love it.
So there is another. I mean, that's definitely orange in my opinion. So the interesting thing is, I'm gonna see if I can get it without that text.
We have to prepare for the.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard because she's talking. If you look closely at his hilt, right there, look how wide the hilt is. So I know, and Ryan, it sounds like you probably listened to Theory's video. He's saying that this should be much thicker. But again, I think in post-production, this is something they can fix because of the hilt is so wide. Like you see how thin it looks compared to
it almost looks like a sword, like an actual sword's hilt.
Right. And yeah. And this is probably, if you look at the background, I noticed this after rewatching it. This definitely looks like they're in the World Between Worlds. Like, look at the lights. It's like if you go back and watch Rebels, this is all the kind of stuff you see in the background.
Interesting.
I love that they're bringing that into this.
We have to prepare for the worst.
You know, look at the difference in her hilt. Look at the opening compared to his. You know. Again, look at the background. That's definitely World Between Worlds.
The Jedi.
So this is what I was trying to figure out yesterday. Do we think is this Ghost? Is the planet this one right here? I mean, it looks like it could be, but it definitely looks different than what we saw in Rebels. But I mean, maybe not.
I don't know.
The Jedi fell a long time.
I mean, I'm with you, Terry. It looks a lot like Ghost, and we know that Ghost has got to still be around because we see Hera fly in the Phantom too.
Correct.
And Ghost survived at the end of Rebels.
Right. That's what
And
I'm thinking.
She still
like
has
this
Phantom 2. I would.
Yeah, it looks like it's Phantom 2 is like in Ghost right now in this image. But again, I know it looks a little different because Ghost definitely is more completed, like on the side here. I don't know if you guys can.
I don't think that ship right there is Ghost. I think Ghost is the one we're looking out of the cockpit right now.
Oh, you think?
If you watch the if you watch the scene when these two ships fly in, it looks more like Ghost to me. But I mean, it's also hard to tell.
So you're saying maybe she is actually in the front plane. And you're saying this could be Ghost.
That ship in
that
doesn't look enough like Ghost to me, and they're not going to mess up something like Ghost, I don't think. I think the ship she's flying is Ghost.
Okay. So you know, the way they make it look, so you got the red blast though. That's what makes it interesting.
True.
You look at that red blast, and then we go to here, but then we do see a red blast over here too. So I'm not sure. It's always weird with Star Wars with the laser spaceships. You know, it's usually green and red, but it was always reversed. I felt like
and you can see the green coming out of that main ship.
Yeah, right there.
Red from the side, so there could be another ship we're not seeing.
Another ship behind Ghost. Like if this is Ghost, if we're getting a cockpit view from Ghost, it could be another ship following them. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, brother Lima.
The Jedi fell a long time ago. There aren't many left.
See, dude, like I look at this image right here. And there's Ezra. We'll get back to that in a second. I look at this image right here. This should have been Luke in the prequel or in the sequels. Like this should have been like what Luke looked like, his beard and everything else with the same. You know, this is what we should have got. It's so just, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is what we should have got.
And that scene, Terry, it looks like your blade is thicker.
It does look a little thicker. You're right about that. It does look a little thicker. Now, I don't know if it's because he's closer. I mean, because right there. But that definitely looks better than the other shot. You can see
you can't really see the thing. You can't really see the side vents.
You're right. It does look. It looks like it's more filled. That definitely looks better than the other, because that compared to
That's a great pull shot.
Compared to that, look how thick this looks. It looks like it's so thin. And when we slide back here, that's a good shot, but it's still hard to see. But the glow around it looks better. I mean, again, that's post-production stuff. I mean, you know, only Star Wars nerds sit there and break down the thickness of it.
Have a good Easter, baby ice.
Thanks for coming.
There aren't.
All right, so here's our first like actual shot at Ezra. I mean, it's hard to see; it's a hologram, right?
Yeah.
He's obviously asking for help and probably letting him know like where he is or what he's doing or something, I would imagine. And this is kind of like from the opening scene with Sabine, because it looks like, you know, her helmet then goes onto that.
Many left.
It's very, you know, you can kind of tell she got the same outfit and everything. So,
yeah.
And then I know we talked yesterday. Like, this is clearly more of a red lightsaber right here compared to the ones we just saw. And this is an Inquisitor. And Josh, what are you saying? You think it's Second Sister, maybe?
Just looking at, you know, like the body of the character, it looks most reminiscent of Second Sister. Because I know you mentioned briefly like Pitt's brother, but Pitt's brother's definitely bulkier.
Yeah, his mask is. You can tell right there. You can tell his mask is different because you can.
So my guess is Second Sister, just based off what we know of the main Inquisitors.
And if Uses a sweet force push. Love that.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Yeah, that's it. It's a really good trailer. I mean, and they don't really show you a ton either, you know. What's going on, Brian? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I agree. It definitely looks like different colors. Yeah. All right, so I don't know. You guys, anything else about the Ahsoka trailer before we kind of move on to the next topic?
I mean, the last thing I point out is how important that droid is.
Is it Hyung?
I don't. Yeah, probably Hyung is probably the proper way to announce it. But if we remember, that droid is from the Jedi Temple. He's on the ship took the younglings to Elam to get their lightsabers at one
that's
point.
right. Yeah,
so
that's right.
I mean, he has all of the Jedi knowledge still collected together, which could allude to several things. If he's around now, what is he being used as?
Mm-hmm.
And not to go too far into the future, but is he going to get used with Rey in her new movie to help rebuild the Jedi Order?
Interesting. Well, and that actually
I like how this man speaks.
That leads us to the next conversation. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Rey movie. What I would like to see, not the hound on how much I don't like the sequels. What if we do use a world between worlds, and we almost retcon those prequels, and then we get to see what Rey is actually doing? You know, they're saying it's 15 years after, but that can also just be word speak. You know, maybe we get to see what Rey actually is going to do. I don't know. I guess it would be a little messy if they did it that way. I really wish we could get Luke back the way we were supposed to see him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bitter Star Wars fan still on that regard. But, I don't know. What do you guys think about this Rey film? 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, supposedly supposed to be, rebuilding the Jedi Order. I would imagine Grogu would be in this. I don't know how you don't put him in it. You know, what do you think, Ryan? Did you even hear about this yesterday?
I didn't. I literally have been out of the world of the internet for a day. Rey wasn't that bad in the show, you know. It wasn't all her fault. It was more the storytelling and what they did with her character, you know. We'll see. I was burned by them. That you know, we watched them very recently, and I was burned by those movies. They hurt watching. So we'll see when we're moving forward. But I genuinely have no idea what to expect.
I feel like they can't. I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to do without bringing back some of the cast. Like, I don't know if John Boyega would ever want to do it again. I mean, I guess money talks, but I mean, the rumor was before this was even announced that Oscar Isaac was going to come back to Poe. And then I actually saw a rumor online today that the idea is they want to bring back Kylo Ren. They want to bring him back somehow. So I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
All he did was fall off the rock, right?
Who?
Didn't Kylo Ren fall off that thing and just fall down?
Well, no, he died when he transferred his life essence.
Oh yeah, so he did.
Yeah. Josh, what do you think about this movie?
I love this movie for Daisy Ridley. I think I loved her as Rey. As you guys said, the storytelling was kind of poor, but I liked the idea of her character. My disappointment is this is the story we should have gotten with Luke.
Correct. Yeah.
So I don't think it takes away from Rey. It's just this is what Luke's story was supposed to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's definitely what they should have done with Luke. No, we're still if we get it this way, and as long as they do it correctly, I think it'll be all right. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that we didn't get it. I know I had said yesterday that it would be amazing if Mark Hamill would be willing to come back for some flashbacks or something. Again, I don't know how you do it though. I mean, the entire sequel trilogy is literally like a year. Like and she's only on Act 2 for which seems like a couple days. So I don't know how you do it with Mark, but
I have no idea, but I'd like to see him in it still. I see his face in anything, and he is Luke Skywalker. He always will be. So,
I mean, I definitely think we're going to get some Luke, but I think it's going to be more of the Yoda Force Ghost Luke.
Yeah, it's almost like almost like acting like an Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that. And I'd be all right with that. At least we get him. Yeah. Do you think that we will ever see the OG lightsaber again that she buried at the end of Rise? You think we'll ever see those sabers again, or are we just moving forward? Like I kind of felt like when they did that, they kind of said, "Yeah, this part of the story is over. We're gonna bury it." That was kind of like what I was thinking. I mean, I do like Rey's yellow saber. I think it's pretty cool, but I don't know. Just curious to see what you guys think. Do you think you're ever going to see those sabers again?
I have no idea. I'd like to think we could, because it's a good callback. It's a small but really significant thing to a lot of people. Yeah. So, just even bringing it back for fan service would be good.
I think if Rey is rebuilding the Jedi Order, we have to assume that means there's going to be a Jedi Archives and a Jedi Temple of some sort. So I would think those sabers would be on display somewhere in the Archives or the Temple.
Yeah, and that would be cool. That would make
not
sense.
Being used, but like as a relic of the past of, the Jedi Hall of Fame.
Jedi Hall of Fame. $10, you can come on in. You can go view everything. Okay. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Okay, so beside her building this order, I mean, what do you think the movie's going to be about? Like, any ideas? Like, if you had to speculate a little bit.
Well, the question is, who's going to be what kind of bad guy? I mean, obviously, I think this is going to be reminiscent of Legends of Luke trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, and at every turn, there's a new evil lurking somewhere.
Right.
So there's so many good villains from Legends. The question is, as much as I like Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, I mean, hell, my 6-year-old's name is Kylo.
Yeah.
So, but do we want to keep reiterating what we just did? Oh, we brought Palpatine back again. How are you bringing back Kylo Ren? Is this going to be the evil clone of what we should have gotten in 7, 8, 9 of Luke? Or is this brought back as Ben Solo in some form?
Yeah.
It's so hard to tell. I mean, I love the idea of finally seeing them rebuild the Jedi Order on film. I just have no idea what they're going to do as the bad guy. I think they need to do something different than the same old Sith. Explore more of the Dark Jedi. The oh god, I'm not going to pronounce it right. The Yuzong clan or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I think you need to celebrate to bring in a different type of enemy.
So in Legends, who is the big bad after like Thrawn and all that?
So there's a few. I mean, the again, I'm not pronouncing this right, but the Yuzong Empire or whatever, which was a different alien species, they were a really big bad for several books. That was through the whole New Jedi Order, if I recall, which lasted 14 novels.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the thing. They have all of this. It's like, instead of starting to make, like, again, the whole making up of Reva and the making up of these other characters, when you have so many good characters in Legends and in canon, and just you could pull, and just, again, like, how we haven't got a Plagueis series or movie is unbelievable to me. Like, I just don't understand what they're doing with that, because I feel like that would be awesome, as long as they don't mess it up. That's always the caveat, I guess. But all right, so let's move on to the next one. So the next movie they're saying is going to be the Mandoverse one. So that would be the Dave Filoni directed, where they're bringing in, Mando, Ahsoka, right, skeleton crew and all that. So we have that is probably the movie for 2027, I guess it would be, if they're going every 2 years. So I don't know. So that means we have what, like 3 more seasons of Mando, maybe 2 if they only go if they go every other year, which I hope they don't. I hope that was just because of COVID.
Yeah, I know Favreau originally said he wanted no more than 5 to 6 seasons of Mando.
So
Like he had the story he wanted to tell, and he didn't want to drag it out.
Yeah. Which unfortunately, I think this season's kind of doing, but
I get why they're doing it, but yeah, it is being dragged a little bit. We don't really know where this season is going.
yeah. So I guess they did show the episode 7 yesterday at Celebration, and from what I've heard is that the first 7 minutes is pretty good. Moff Gideon does make an appearance, and the name Thrawn is brought up as well. So
interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's in I don't want to do spoilers, but they do have a conversation. Moff Gideon does about Thrawn, but I'll leave it there because if you really want to find out, you can go online. But I don't want to.
Oh, you can tell me backstage.
Yeah. I don't if anyone's watching either the live or the replay that I don't want to ruin that for them.
Yeah. I can't believe that they actually showed it at the panel. Like they showed the next episode. That's crazy.
Yeah, they showed the entire thing. People are saying it's good, so we'll see. It's just interesting that I don't know. Last week's episode really just threw me for a curveball. Like I just don't understand why we had that.
Yeah, I know.
I think the hard part about Filoni's movie, and obviously we kind of know where things are headed with movies anyways, but we already know the Kylo Ren's First Order or whatever arises years later. So while it's cool we're getting this content, you kind of already know what's going to happen. Like, because a few years after this is the rise of the First Order.
Right. Yeah, we're only like about 10 years away from that, probably. Maybe 15, but I don't know. Dan's saying spoiler alert. Do you guys want to hear the spoiler?
No, I think it is a spoiler, but I don't want to speak for the panel.
Well, I can say, I can give them a 10-second, just mute it for maybe like a minute. Josh, do you want to know the spoiler or no?
Dude, I'm fine with it. It won't faze me. Go ahead.
All right, so chat, if you don't want to hear the spoiler for Mando episode 7. Oh, Dan's saying he doesn't want to hear the spoiler. All right, then I won't say it. I'll tell you guys backstage. It's not a big deal. All right, that's fine. So that's the second movie that they brought up yesterday, and then the third movie is going to be in the what is it? The what was it called? The my gosh, this mouse is killing me not working. Is it the?
See you later, Chris. He says he's out of here. He's going to go and do an Easter egg hunt. Great discussion stream. See you all later.
Yeah, fun, dude. Oh my gosh, Josh, where was it? I can't remember this. Really quick. Here we go. Timeline. Here it is, right here. I'll pull this up on screen too. I think this is the same thing we showed yesterday. So it's during Dawn of the Jedi, they're calling it. And this is like 25,000 years before the actually it's even before the prequels. It's before the it's still loading. Before the New Republic. Or the Old Republic.
So this I believe they're gonna base this off the book Dawn of the Jedi into the
Dawn of the Jedi, right.
I think this is going to be the hardest movie for them to make.
But again, it's not like they don't have material, That's always the thing. Like, it depends how much they want to use from the material.
Oh no, agreed. I just think it's tough because not even so much sense in the filmmaking part, but for the fans that really, are only about the shows or the movies, which is fine. That's great. more fans the better, right? That's what keeps it going.
Right.
But this isn't going to be a movie where it's straight into like lightsaber battles. Like they're explaining the origins of the Jedi. So it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a more religious movie because the original Jedi started as the Jedi religion on the planet Jeddah.
Yep.
So it may not be as Star Wars-y as some people would want it to be because they're explaining the origins. But that could also be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I mean, I like it because they can kind of create their own thing then too. I mean, they can obviously pull, and it's. I don't think many people even know about this era, unless you've actually read the books. It's kind of like what Game of Thrones is doing, with House of the Dragon, and now we're even supposed to go back further from House of the Dragon to Aegon's Conquest, and which is again like unless you read the book, you don't really. I mean, besides everyone going to be dead at the end or whatever, eventually they die, but it's just how it gets there, and so I think it's interesting that this is an interesting way to do it. But again, this is 25,000 years. This is not just like 300 or 400 years.
Mm-hmm. I'm super hyped for it because I think it's a good starting block. They can build foundations down there, and that could because it's supposed to be the start of the story. It's the origins of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Look, I'm definitely hyped for it. It's going to be good because they're probably not going to have characters that we are familiar with, like name-wise. We might have a couple surnames that might connect to names further down the line that give us some reminiscent of characters that are yet to come.
Right.
But no, I'm super hyped. And you brought up the the Game of Thrones kind of stuff, and yeah, I've read the books for all of the Game of Thrones and the House of Dragon and all that kind of stuff, and the earlier stuff is better in my opinion. The story of Aegon it should be told, and I'm glad that it's going to be. Hopefully. But no, just seeing this is cool. Like, I've not even seen this. The Dawn of the Jedi, the Old Republic, the High Republic, Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, the New Republic, Rise of the First Order, and a New Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting that, the New Republic. So that was like. So that would be like Mandalorian, right? Isn't that what they said? That's the Mandalorian Ahsoka stuff. That's right. Kind of that section. That's in between. Yeah, it is interesting because like the New Jedi Order, it technically should be, moved up, but they made the sequel trilogy what they did, so we'll get it afterwards.
Well, and I don't know if it's an Easter egg at all, but it is interesting. I mean, I get why they're calling it the New Jedi Order. But when we talk about who's going to be the next big bad, there is that 14-novel series all titled The New Jedi Order.
Yeah. Interesting if they're going to bring that. I hope they do. I don't know why they – I mean, I understand – okay, so they, when they bought Lucasfilm from George, they wanted to do their own thing. They didn't want to have any of the books really – that's why they made it Legends and not canon anymore. And because they wanted to kind of have – the option to create their own stuff, but I feel like now with how they saw the reactions with the sequel or the prequel, the sequels, I think they're like, yeah, we better do something. Like they have to do something, and now with Thrawn coming to live action and all these beloved characters that it's unfortunate. I mean, maybe we'll get it in Mando or something. I just can't believe they're not bringing Mara Jade in. I don't understand, and I don't know. I mean, at this point, it might be weird because then you have Mara Jade is like a regular actress with a CGI Luke. It might be strange. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know.
I don't even know who she is, dude. I know you've talked about her a couple of times, but I have no knowledge of her.
Yeah. She basically she was an assassin for Palpatine, and one of her missions were to basically kill Luke Skywalker, and they basically ended up teaming up and ended up falling in love.
Wow.
And I don't want to give out too many spoilers after that, just in case, because it's I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate that we never got her. I don't understand why. Again, her and Plagueis for me were like my two favorite characters that I just remember looking up all the time as a kid. You know, I will always wanted more information. And then after the prequels came out with, you know, and then we actually got the mention of Plagueis, like how do you mention him and then not ever go back?
Mm-hmm.
It's something with him. It's crazy. That's why I think everyone thought that for sure Snoke after The Force Awakens was maybe going to be Plagueis somehow. But I don't know. So the three movies. So those are the three movies. We talked about Ahsoka. We talked a little bit about Mando. Really, the only there's the other two pieces were the Skeleton Crew, which we touched on briefly. We don't really know too much about it. And the only other thing they really did announce was the Acolyte, which will be dropping next year. So we could talk a little bit about that. I know there was a pretty cool like poster. Let me see if I can find that really quick. So the Acolyte to me, it's actually there's not a trailer, is there? Yeah, I just did a search and like it comes up trailer. Try that again. I thought there was a. So this is 18 hours ago. Let me here. I don't know. It looks like
I'm
it's
gonna
being
guess
filmed.
that's fan made. I haven't seen anything about a confirmed Acolyte trailer yet. Doesn't mean there isn't, but I feel like that would have been popping up everywhere.
So this is what it is right here. It's only 9 seconds. I don't know, but it's up. Oh, it is. But there's the Acolyte. You know, they kind of changed it a little bit. I don't know.
So what's the Acolyte?
So the Acolyte, and I know we talked yesterday about trying to figure out when this was. So this is the old one, and they kind of switched it up a little bit. They're saying that they did show a small trailer. I don't know. I don't know if it's legit because this was taken off. Interesting. I don't know. I didn't really see it yesterday. Yeah, it looks like maybe they did, and they just took it off. So the Acolyte is supposed to take place when? That's the thing. I don't think we're really sure. It sounds like if we pull this back up, it sounds like it's probably going to be. I mean, Josh, what do you think? I mean, I keep saying Old Republic. I think yesterday you said high, right?
The premise. So it's set at the end of the High Republic.
So right in here.
So it's happening approximately 100 years before Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So it's kind of starting at the beginning of the downfall of the Republic and the Jedi. So this is... So Plagueis was Palpatine's master, correct?
Right.
So
yeah.
It sounds like timeline-wise, this would have been around Plagueis's master.
Yes, yes.
Because we're 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So this is really probably going to start to show the fall of the Republic and how they really started kind of, you know, making their way into everything and slowly tearing it down and making their deals in the shadows.
So that'd be cool because if it's before Plagueis, maybe eventually we get something with him then. So this might be the start of that timeline, and they're just going back a little further to bring it out.
Everything I've read confirms that it's 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So with the name and the premise of the show, it sounds like, this is gonna probably, the show will end. This is just a wild guess. I would think the show is gonna end with Plagueis, and then maybe we get a show of Plagueis leading into Palpatine, because 100 years before the Phantom Menace, you know, it says here on the Wikipedia and Wikipedia. The Acolyte is set at the end of the High Republic era in a world of shadowy secrets and emergent dark side powers, 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
Okay. Well, I'm in for that because that's the stuff that really interests me. Because
it says former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated.
Okay. See, that sounds pretty good. I like that. I'm more interested in that than in the Skeleton Crew.
And Palpatine was 52. Palpatine was 52 in Phantom Menace. So what? 48 years to the birth of him.
So this could even be the beginning of Plagueis then, if that's the age.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they could literally have this show go on, make it like a 10 or 15 year show, as far as time wise, maybe even 20 years. We'll see what happens. And that can kind of lead right into Plagueis. And then, I mean, you could literally make a show just called Palpatine. And who's not watching?
Oh, easy.
Look, I mean, and you just you have to you got to cast the right person to play him though.
Right, because obviously Ian can't go back and do a show like that.
No. And
with all the CGI they've done, he could give them the rights to do the CGI version of him.
Yeah, I just think the cost, and I think that's why we've only seen Luke twice.
Very true.
We may see Luke and Ahsoka, but I don't know. I mean, I just think the cost of that CGI, and it's not 100% for sure yet. You can still see it doesn't. It's a little bit off still, but it definitely looks good. Don't get me wrong, but to have a whole show based on a CGI character like that, I don't know if it would work right now. I just think you recast, but you got to find the right. You got to probably find somebody in their 20s, low, younger 30s that kind of has that look of Ian. And the other thing is like Plagueis is like an alien, right? He his what is this species?
His what's the Bankin clan? He's one of them.
Yeah.
The Rune. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Moon. Yeah, Muun.
Moon. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna actually look up.
His species are the ones that are like started the Bankin clan. They have all the money, and that's how Palpatine and them always had all that money for the Empire.
Right. That's exactly right. So here's the image based on the book. So that's what he looks like. So, you could obviously do makeup, you could do prosthetics, that kind of stuff to make someone look like that, where you don't need to do CGI, because I think again CGI is going to look strange. But they could obviously make this type of character. But yeah, that's what Plagueis looks like.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I like where they're going with it. Acolyte, I always thought was going to be really interesting. Out of all the shows they had announced, Ahsoka and Acolyte were the two I was most excited for. Skeleton Crew, I don't know. It's just it's so weird that I feel like we know more about Acolyte than we do Skeleton Crew. I really have no idea what they're doing with that. I don't know if that's kind of taken over the Rangers of the New Republic that was supposed to be with Gina Carano. I don't know. I mean, the Jude Law part does make me interested, though, with him being like a teacher. So is he teaching? Who is he teaching?
Well, so no, the only things I can really find certain on Skeleton Crew is that it's following 4 kids who end up on an adventure to make their way home after being lost in the galaxy after they discovered something on their home planet.
Oh, okay.
So Goonies in space.
I'm assuming that Jude is teaching these 4 kids. What's that?
They did say it's kind of like a growing age story or something. So
yeah, it feels like Goonies in space.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do with these characters. I mean, I just hope it's not like the TikTok Avengers or something like that. Josh, the TikTok Avengers were. Do you watch Willow?
They were what?
Did you watch Willow?
Oh, the new show. God,
Yeah.
I was so disappointed with that.
Yeah, we call that. Yeah, we call that crew the TikTok. Those are the TikTok Avengers. So
yeah, and that show had so much promise, but like,
yeah.
I don't even know what they didn't know what they were doing.
No, the last 2 episodes were fine. I like where it was leading, but like the characters alone just were not very good, unfortunately. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get season 2. I mean, I talked to Warwick a couple weeks ago down in Lexington, and he didn't sound very optimistic about it. So, but I don't know. Anything else for the good order? We've been on for about 90 minutes. I don't want to hold you guys on too long. We pretty much went through all the news. Again, I'm refreshing Twitter. I don't see anything new dropping at all. There's really nothing else that I've seen that drop that's newer.
I mean, other than the crazy announcements yesterday, even the exclusives and stuff at Celebration this year have just been, I hate to say lame, but it's just been a pretty lame celebration other than the announcement of the movies. Because like the shows, we already knew about the shows. So that's not anything new.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the big thing I think is the Ahsoka trailer. I think that's really what they're betting on for this weekend. You know, the only thing I can think of as far as like Funko goes is maybe they just didn't want to bring a ton of stuff with them overseas, because how much money are they spending to bring that over there? That's the only thing I can think of is why there's only the 2 exclusives. I don't know. I mean, and granted, it is, last year's celebration was in May. So we're, this is just the beginning of April here. I mean, maybe that's the other reason why, like, it's only been 11 months since they had other exclusives for Star Wars. So I don't know. And I didn't, the Star Wars celebration exclusives last year weren't very good either. They were almost like rehashes of things we've already gotten. So I don't know. It is interesting. But again, like look what Hasbro's doing. Hasbro's doing it again with the QR code, and then they're just going to end up putting all those up on, up afterwards, anyways. So it's not really an exclusive. I feel like if you do that, so I don't know. Maybe that's the new thing that they're going to do is do QR codes. I think it kind of stinks though. Because I mean, the whole point of going to a convention is you get it in hand, and other people that don't go to the convention don't have that opportunity. That's the whole point. So I don't know if Funko's still doing it right now, but I'm a little frustrated with Hasbro. I mean, did you see the exclusive they're doing, the Darth Vader from Revenge of the Sith? Or Revenge of the Jedi. It was the old movie title that Return of the Jedi got, Revenge. So it's a Vader that's like, just look up Hasbro as Star Wars Celebration or something like that. You'll find it. I mean, I could probably pull it up and show you guys. It's probably all over Twitter.
Yeah, but I mean, even the Funko exclusives for Celebration were terrible. I mean, like, they're okay, but like, dude, when's the last time we only got 2 Funkos at a Celebration? Like, usually there's like 5 or 6 at least, and this year we got. I mean, why Jar Jar? It's the Return of the Jedi anniversary, so Jar Jar just made no sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You're right.
I mean, man, if you want to give us I have been happy if they did Ahmed's best new character, the Jedi. That would have been cool. But I mean, just another Jedi with his giving you a thumbs up. Okay.
So there's the Vader. I mean, it's cool. I mean, the box, is pretty cool. I like. I mean, you can see they got like the red in there. So it's a little different version. I don't love the lightsaber. That looks orange to me, like compared to the rest of them.
Well, speaking of that, after watching that trailer again, and you pointed out the Inquisitor saber, even if it hasn't gone through post-production, unless they're purposely trying to throw us off, they can clearly do a red saber. So that makes me think even more that those other sabers are orange.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that figure. Here's the at least it's got a, I'm assuming you slide off the top of the box and then that's what it looks like. It's just funny because the saber there looks a little more red, but it could be the packaging as well. So I don't know. It's cool. I'd be more willing to get it if it wasn't going to be available to the general public, because they probably made a ton of these. But I mean, that's kind of again, when I go to conventions, I'm always looking for something that I can get that nobody else can. Like that's to me, that's the point of paying the money to go and standing in line and getting something instead of releasing something online the next when the convention's over, and then everyone can just go get it anyways. That's why I ended up not even buying the one from last year. The what was it? The John Favreau's character, right? Isn't that? Yeah, I didn't end up not even. I just ended up canceling it. So, but all right.
Well,
I don't know, guys.
They had the other one. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the other one that we did. Remember, you sent me the link for it. Was it the Dark Trooper or the Boba Fett? Oh, the Boba Fett was supposed to be exclusive to the con, and then they opened it to the public. Yeah,
and that's another one I just ended up canceling.
Yep, same.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's not gonna be exclusive, then I'm not gonna collect it. It doesn't for those prices sometimes, because I think that John Favreau one was like $45. Like I wasn't like desperate to have that in my collection. I thought that was cool because it was the exclusive, and then once they released it, I'm like, nah, I don't want it. So, and I'm sure they're gonna do the same thing on Tuesday. I'm sure Hasbro will release these on Tuesday, and I don't know what the price is. With the Black Series is usually about $25. It'll probably be like $45. I bet you. That's usually what they go. They usually double it up. So, but all right. Anyways, yeah. Chat. Thank you for sticking around. If you're still here, we'll be live again tomorrow, and at 7:00 here on my channel. And we'll be doing probably I'm sure we'll react to more news, and I think we're gonna do make some games. Where's it called, Ryan? Is it Words
on Stream?
Words on Stream, right? We might do that a little bit. We'll talk some more Star Wars, and then next Sunday on my live we'll be doing 6 for 1,000. So basically we'll have a panel on. We're all going through our Funko Pops, adding up the numbers to 1,000, and seeing who has the most valuable according to PPG. So
in 6 or less, yeah.
Yeah, 6. Well, not even
6.
6.
No, 6. Yeah, 6.
That'd be 6. Yeah, there's penalties if you go under or over.
There's that. What are those for, Z?
What was that?
Those for Z?
It's supposed to be.
That's the one.
Oh, it's okay. Anyways, all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget, keep those heads on, and we'll see you guys in the next video.